long and stressful day coming to the end of this Monday, the first day of the week. But thankfully, we get to talk about yesterday and the game that we were so lucky to see, the performance that we were so lucky and blessed to witness. That is Chelsea 3, Aston Villa 0. And before we get started, you might notice a very significant number. One subscriber away. So please do like the video, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And with that said, with one subscriber away, finally, from 10,000 subscribers, shall we get into the player ratings for this game? Ladies and gentlemen, it's ends. It's 10 o'clock. 10 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers. It doesn't matter. I'm a happy boy, regardless, because of one man in particular. None of these bastards, I'll tell you that much. It is Enzo Maresa. Enzo Maresa is doing the Lord's work. He is changing lives. He is bringing life back to Chelsea fans around the globe, to the regulars that go at the bridge, and just I've never. Well, I definitely have felt happier with regards to football, but, you know, we've had some pretty high highs as Chelsea fans over the last 20, 25 years. But in the last few years, I have felt some of the lowest of lows with regards to football. And Maresa is taking us back to those highs, at least for now anyway. Of course, I myself and many others would have been relishing the position that we're currently sat in, and the performance itself, really good. We're going to get through the player ratings in just a second, but just a reminder that we are, let's not forget, we are currently sat in third place, level on every single metric there is possible with Arsenal Football Club in second place. And again, I just want to say, Arsenal are allegedly at their best right now, and we are in transition. We are rebuilding. And as of right now, I know that by the end of the season, it might look completely different. But after 13 games, after a third of the season is gone, it's pretty tasty. I'm liking what I'm seeing. With that said, as I've said, let's get into the player ratings, and we will talk over some of the individual performances that we saw. Let's start off with the usual suspect. We will take this off the screen because it's taking up quite a bit of room. In fact, do I not have? I've got player ratings. Wow, look at that for a graphic, eh? Let's move it up here so that I can give this man his flowers, you know, because I would argue one of the better games for one Roberto Sanchez. He's not Roberto, is he? But for Robert Sanchez, it's a blinding performance by his standard, and some good saves to be made. Certainly better than his counterpart in the goal for Aston Villa, who didn't make it through the whole game, but just arguably one of the worst performances I think I've seen Emi Martinez have in his time, at least playing against Chelsea, but for allegedly the best player in the world, best goalkeeper in the world. It was a bit of a stinker, wasn't it? It was a bit of a bad game from him. I'm going to go with my formation here in the shape of an arrow. As you can see, we have got some new graphics, just to reiterate who's played well, who's done what, and it's right down slap down the middle of the pitch. But we'll get to those players in just a second. Wesley Fofana. I don't know. Because, listen, I'm gutted that he's injured and he's out for like 4 to 5 weeks now, is he not? Which is obviously a massive blow for us. But I don't like seeing him in that position. Watkins absolutely exposing him. I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I haven't seen it up close if he was pushed. I don't think he was. It wasn't retrospectively brought back by, VAR wouldn't have got involved, I don't think. I think arguably one of the worst players on the pitch in this game. And that's saying a lot because it was a good, well-rounded game. This is very much a praise, a player ratings show full of praise. So any player that did show any sign of underperforming, it was pretty apparent, to be honest with you. I didn't like him. We could have easily gone 1-1 and then the game would have been completely different. Sanchez, thank God for Sanchez, made a very crucial save there to keep them at bay. But obviously the injury is a massive blow. I don't really know where that leaves us. I mean, Badiashile has been pretty good the last two or 1.5 games that he's played. Let's hope that he can carry on that momentum. But he's not going to be back for at least another 5 weeks. So that's him out for the rest of the year. We won't see him. So, I mean, Colwill has the choice, I guess, of either Disasi or Badiashile. Disasi hasn't been in the squad for a couple of weeks now, a few weeks even. In the Premier League, I can't remember when his last game was. I think it was probably more recent than you would think, but playing in the right back position. But yeah, Fofana, he's very much one of those players that I'm still yet to be wowed by. I was saying in the watch along that Cucurella, Enzo, who else? Mudryk. I've criticised them heavily in the past. Cucurella has come on leaps and bounds. He's arguably one of our best players. Enzo Fernandez, since his splitting of his wife, I suppose, is on the up and up, and he has been great. And I have mentioned that over the last few games. And for those of you that say, I'm always on Enzo's case, I'm always saying this, I'm always saying that, it's never good enough. I've given Enzo his flowers over the last couple of games. I have noticed it. And I will say, a lot of people have been saying he's been good the whole time. He might not have been great the whole time, but he's been good. He's had some really good games. And this whole time, I've personally have not yet to be excited by what I've seen from Enzo Fernandez. But I will say, now that he's playing exceptionally well, all these little comments are coming out of, oh, he's finally good now. Oh, he's actually playing really well now. Now, what happened to before? When I was being called a clown for saying that he hadn't lived up to the hype or and he wasn't good, or when people were saying this was a good performance and it was like, it really wasn't, we'll go to Enzo because we're speaking on him so much here. I'm going to give him, I think I'm going to give him a 7.5. Robert Sanchez, I might have to retrospectively change, but I'm gonna give Enzo a 7.5. I think it was a really good game from him, really, really good goal. Again, just one of those games where it's like just really enjoyable to watch in an otherwise quite frustrating player at times, where it's like a bit hit and miss. I'm really, really liking what I'm seeing. Cucurella, probably one of the players that got caught on the counter-attack a few times. I could lean to an 8, but I was going to give him a 7.5 as well. In fact, I'll give him an 8. I think Cucurella was great. The whole game. He's just an absolute pain in the arse for people, like opposition players. He's just constant. He's never not there. He's always pressuring. The goal that we scored, the Jackson goal, was 95% Cucurella, and obviously 99% Jackson. The math's not mapping. It's not mapping, but at the same time, the Jackson goal was fantastic. But Cucurella did so much of the work there to close down his man. They were calling for a free kick. It wasn't a free kick, and Jackson was there, puts it away beautifully. It's a fantastic goal. I might have to put Enzo to an 8, There's a lot of 8s. I'm just purely thinking of that goal. I'm thinking of Enzo's goal. And again, that is mostly Enzo. Palmer's pass was way too hard. Enzo's done most of the work there in that situation to actually bring the ball down. and control it. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Well worked goal, great touch, despite how hard the pass was. Outside of the boot, into the back of the net, past his international colleague Emi Martinez, and Enzo is on the up and up, and it really does begin to show. Colwill, it's a bit all over the place, this, but Colwill, I'm going to give a 7, just because I'm still, that partnership, the Fofana and Colwill, I'm still not buying into it just yet. I think Colwill's always been the better out of the two. I think he's got captaincy written all over him. I just think I just wouldn't be surprised if I don't want to say anything, that would seem malicious, or it's not malicious in any way. I don't mean it in a bad way, but Badiashiel's been all right in the last couple of games. We know how good he was before he turned a bit shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Colwill and Badiashile end up being quite a formidable duo in the 5 weeks that Fofana's out on the sideline, in a run of games, let's be honest, which we're looking pretty tasty and that we could win pretty much all of them. I'm still not sold on the partnership. We're still leaky. We'll see how it goes, but a 7 for Colwill. I'm sure that might be a little bit harsh, but I don't know. I'm happy with that. Romeo Lavia, and it's another game where I am happy with what I'm seeing. It's a 7, I think, for Romeo Lavia, and then again, I just want to preface that 7s are still very, very high as per my rating system. Can we say, because 6s are the average. I mean, 5 should be the average, but 6s are the average. So 7 is you played better than average. I love Romeo Lavia. I think he's so good. I love that we've been able to see these 3 play on the pitch at the same time, and I long may it continue. To be completely honest with you, not much else to say. I really enjoy Romeo Lavia. Still a long way to come, I think, but in time, it's a special player, and all 3 of these playing together, just fucking Jesus! It's a joy. It will continue to be a joy, and the biggest joy of all is this man here, who, quite frankly, is a contender for man of the match. Moises Caicedo. He just. I don't know what else to say to build on what everyone's already said before, but he just is, much like Cucurella, just everywhere all at once. He does his job so well. He does his job so eloquently, so sublimely, that it's all a part of the process. It's just all part and parcel of his position. He just does it so well that sometimes you don't even realize he's done something, and he's done it, and then you watch a replay and you're like, fucking Jesus Christ, didn't even know it's happened. But he is that good. He's elusive, is what I would say. He is ever present, and he does so well at his job that he, much like Palmer, has got to be one of the first names on the scores on the player team sheet. Do you know what I'm saying? I love him. I think he's absolutely fantastic, and starting to really showcase that he is well worth the money that we paid, even though it was astronomical amounts of money. Happy days, and long may his performances continue. Is what all I'll say there. Up next, we'll go with Jadon Sancho, and just as a speaking of which. I just want to say, João Felix coming on with 4 minutes to go, got booked straight away. I would argue very harsh, because he did go through the back of him, but it was all ball pretty much. It was all ball, very reckless at the same time. He did get the man afterwards, but a yellow card in 4 minutes, pretty bad from him, I must say. Or 10 minutes, 9 minutes because of the 5 minutes additional time. Madueke got an assist. And a good one at that. I mean, Palmer did the hard work in putting it in the back of the net, and what a goal that was. We'll get into that in a second. But Madueke coming on, getting an assist in the short amount of time that he had, well, 19 minutes or so, 24 minutes or so. He saw that Neto was coming for his position, came off the bench, got an assist, and he did get a booking, which again was unnecessary. I think that was for a dive as well. So a little less of that would be great. But yeah, Christopher Nkunku, pretty nothing. Badia Shield, again, nothing. And Malo Gusto, pretty much nothing. João Felix, terrible off the bench, I would say. He could have had a goal, but instead he got a booking. Jadon Sancho, and I think a lot of people's biggest gripe with him is that he's a bit slow. He's a bit slow, apparently. Looking at his performance, 0 chances created. He had a 0.08 XG. Don't really give a fuck about that. He got 3 fantasy points. Wow. He got 0 out of 1 shots on target, 40 touches, successful dribbles, 1 out of 3. If you're basing it on statistics, ground duels 1, 2 out of 7. Aerial duels 1, 0 out of 1. Duels lost 6, and duels won 2. Based on statistics, you would say that it was a pretty bad performance. I'm going to lean towards a 6.5. I don't think anyone will really disagree with that too much, but I will say I'm still happy we've got him. I think that he will be one for, I want to say the future because it's Jadon fucking Sancho. Everyone knows who he is. But he is definitely a player that I can see playing for Chelsea for a while. And flourishing, doing well. But this game, not necessarily his game. I will say, what I was saying in the stream was just shoot. Shoot more, please. I'm begging you. His 6.5 could be a 7.5 so easily if he had actually just gone for it. I think someone said in the watch long on the chat that they were like, he's the opposite of Raheem Sterling. He's selfless, but to a detriment. He's selfless to a detriment because he needs to shoot more. He needs to trust in himself that he can actually get a shot off and hit the target at the very least, and I think that 6.5 could have easily been a 7.5 if he'd just tried a bit better, a bit harder to get a shot off here and there and tried his luck, You don't win the raffle if you don't buy a ticket, as they say. Moving on, Pedro Neto, I'm just going to give him a 7. I thought it was a very sort of Pedro Neto performance. It wasn't a bad one. But it wasn't a standout performance. I think he was really good chances here and there, but otherwise a solid performance, I would say. Last but not least, we'll go to Jackson first. And it's really no doubt anymore, is it? It's really no doubt that I've got to give him an 8. Really. I don't know. I'm going to give him an 8 just because he just continues to shut everyone the fuck up that doubts Nicholas Jackson and has questioned whether or not he's a good player. What was it, 15 goals last season? He's already scored how many goals? Let's check, shall we? He scored 8 goals, 3 assists in 13 matches. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. And he just continues to do it. And people will say, what is it? Well, it's just like little bits here and there, little bits there, little tap-ins. That weren't a fucking tap-in. That was a fucking really good striker's goal. Once again, by the way, a really, really good goal. So looking at last season, 14 goals in 35 appearances. How many assists? 5 assists. This season, already got 3 assists and 8 goals. He's 6 goals away from matching his first season, of which I think he's now... He's bested Havertz or something like that. There's a few statistics that I've seen. I couldn't give a bollocks personally, but I've seen I've never understood. I have never understood the criticism that Nicholas Jackson has warranted at Chelsea Football Club. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. Yeah, 91 appearances for Kai Havertz. 91 appearances. And he scored 19 Premier League goals. Nicholas Jackson, 48 appearances, 22 goals. Speaks for himself, honestly. He's just put some respect on his name finally, please. And last but not least, I'm going to give... It's hard to give a man of the match in this because... do you know the tricky thing as well is that I obviously had to own up, or not own up, but like I had egg on me face a little bit, but it wasn't really because it was Cole Palmer just doing Cole Palmer things. I said throughout the whole game, I was like, he's been quiet. It's been another one of those games in the last couple of games where he's been a bit quiet, not done much, but it's still, his average is most players' good games. And then you look, and he's got a goal and assist. He got a very, very good goal to cap things off. And an assist as well. And he's just 2 goals and, two GA on a game where I was saying that he wasn't really that impactful. Fuck me, eh? Why am I questioning this man's genius? Do you know what I'm saying? It's a player that continues to do well week in, week out, even when he's underperforming or average or whatever it is. Just a phenomenal player. And again, when he's average or at his average, it's still enough to get man of the match somehow, eh? It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But there we go. Sanchez with an 8, Fofana with a 6, Colwill with a 7, Cucurella with an 8, 8.5 for Caicedo, an 8 for Enzo, a 7 for Lavia, a 7 for Neto, an 8.5 for Palmer, a 6.5 for Sancho, and an 8 for Jackson. It seems a little bit all over the place. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know your ratings as well. I'm sure I've messed at least one of those up. I always have. It's been a long day, boys and girls. I've had fucking drills going all sorts outside and causing all sorts of mayhem to my day. But yeah, less about that, more about this. Fucking one more person subscribe, please. With that said, please do like, subscribe, hit the bell notification to be notified of any future content on the channel. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, it's 10 o'clock. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Harry, out the Chelsea, and peace.